Alright mates, how's it going? In today's video, it's chapter 21 of Tides of Darkness by Aaron Rosenberg. You might want to sit down for this one. It gets a little bit emotional. Let's go!
The humans are here.
Doomhammer glanced up at Tharbek, a little bit annoyed at the fear he heard in his second's voice. When had this sub-chieftain become such a wet lettuce?
I know they're here.
From up on this ledge, carved into the mountaintop, Doomhammer could quite clearly see the humans. And his own forces. Or what was left of them anyway.
What do? We don't have the numbers to repel them. Not anymore.
Doomhammer glared at Tharbek so fiercely the sub-chieftain kinda pooed himself and backed away.
What do? We fight.
The war chief then turned back towards the ledge to address his peeps.
Hear me.
However, not all of them turned to look at him, which kinda pissed him off a little bit. So he struck the cliff face with his hammer and tried again.
Hear me. I know that we have suffered defeats and setbacks. I know Gul'dan's treachery cost us dearly, but we are orcs. We are the Horde. Our footsteps shall still shake this world.
Wasn't exactly the most overwhelming response from the crowd, but Doomhammer continued anyway.
The humans have followed us to this place. They think us beaten. They think we came here because we're fleeing their might. But they're wrong. We came here because this is our stronghold, our place of strength. We came here because from here we can spill forth once more, make them once more tremble at our name.
This time, the cheer was louder. The orcs were now standing and waving their weapons about and stuff. They were getting worked up again. Good.
We will not wait for them to come upon us. We will not sit idly and allow them to dictate this battle. We will bring the fight to them, and they will learn to regret ever pursuing us here. And when we crush them, we'll march back over their corpses and once more claim their lands.
Doomhammer revelled in the screams and cheers from below for a moment, and then turned back to Tharbek, who now looked a little bit stunned.
Ready the warriors of our clan. My elite guard and I will lead the charge ourselves. The rest of the Horde will follow.
Just as Doomhammer had hoped, the Alliance was not prepared for the Horde to rush out and attack first. They'd positioned themselves for a siege, so the charge took them completely by surprise.
They've overrun our position, sir. What?
But Lothar didn't wait for the random soldier to report on the situation. Instead, he kicked his steed into motion and galloped away, with Traralian and the others following closely behind. Sure enough, as they approached the front lines, they saw battle, and heard battle, and stuff.
Uther!
The paladin strode forward and nodded.
We shall not suffer such beasts to live.
Uther then beckoned towards the rest of his silver hand buddies and they raced off, their armour, weapons and shields glowing with their faith. They then slammed into the orc savages and cut them all down pretty quickly. Lothar gave them all a thumbs up and then spurred his horse again, racing to the west. The orcs were smart, he had to give them that. He'd not expected them to attack first. It was supposed to be a long, slow siege, but they were now paying the price for their complacency. If the orcs were able to weaken enough spots along the humans' lines, they could break through, escape into the mountains, and then it could be months or even years before they could track them all down, giving them the time they needed to regroup and rebuild. But Lothar was not going to let that happen. He burst upon a new battle and studied the situation. It was bigger than the last one, bloody loads of orcs and ogres, and at the centre of them was a big bugger swinging a massive hammer around. Something about him struck Lothar immediately. That's their leader, he thought, and before he knew it, he was urging his horse into the fray directly towards the guy. There, Doomhammer grinned as he studied the large human racing towards him. That's their leader, that is. The one Doomhammer had been hoping to find. Crush this man, crush the entire Alliance army's resolve.
Move aside.
Blah! Doomhammer stalked forward, his hammer clearing space as he moved, until finally there were no more warriors between them. The man did have one advantage though. He was mounted, so Doomhammer solved that problem immediately. Lothar then immediately lunged at Orgrim, causing Doomhammer to grunt from the impact and start swinging his hammer wildly with rage. But the human leader was still very skilled and spry, even in his older years, dodging and dancing and parrying and all sorts of shiz. Traralian, who was off battling orcs of his own, caught a glimpse of what was happening, and he suddenly found himself filled with all sorts of renewed vigour as he desperately tried to fight his way towards the two commanders. More blows dropped between Lothar and Doomhammer, with some of them landing, a nasty gash, a heavy blow to the right side, and then had enough!
I have conquered, and so shall our foes die, until your world belongs to us.
And we're leaving it there. Oh dear. Rest in peace, Lothar. But the good news is, there's only one more chapter and an epilogue to go, and then the series is finished. Epilogue is pretty short, but chapter 22 is kind of long. But I'll try and do it all in one video, and then we'll be done next week. But don't hold me to that. As usual, links in the description for the book, my Patreon page, my Discord, all of that stuff. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!